The serious matter, though, listeners, of this controversy over this drill at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, I want to ask the opposition PNP this morning to just, for my purposes, clarify what the cost of the drill is. And here's why I ask. On Friday, it was on May 19th, it was on Monday. On Monday, the PNP sent a statement under the name of Lambert Brown, Senator Lambert Brown, saying that opposition Senator Lambert Brown is sounding the alarm after the President of the Senate failed to table a series of urgent questions about the government's controversial purchase of a neosurgical drill for the Bustamante Hospital for Children, an item acquired by Sarah at a cost of over $27 million. And the statement referenced $27 million again. Now, Dr. Dawes, the opposition spokesman on health, says $31 million. It may seem like, not a big thing in that the figure is different, but I want to know what the real figure is that we're working with. All right, is it 27 million as Brown's statement says, Senator Brown's statement says, or is it 31 million as the opposition spokesman on health says? That's one. Two, the completeness of Dr. Dawes' research invites serious questions about where he's getting his information from, and having gotten the information, what do you do with it to ensure that what you've received is actually accurate? This is almost like a journalism kind of situation where you get information from people about a matter. You don't just fly with it, go to the press and write it in a newscast and make a program out of it. Sometimes people are frustrated when they share things with you to ask you, so how many hear the story yet? And you're saying, yeah, but hold on, no? You've given this to me. I have to verify, I have to cross-reference, I have to go and backtrack to ensure that what you've given me is correct. Then and only then can I go to publish the story. And so I'm wondering if that has caught the goodly doctor in this particular situation where he was given some information which is not quite accurate. Now, in case you've come in late, you would have known that Dr. Dawes held that press conference yesterday and made the stunning claim, real stunning claim, that the drill was procured at an exorbitant cost, which he said before, and he said this is well above market. Yesterday he came and he compared that drill to two others procured by the same company to show the disparity in cost. Although, in my mind, I'm still not clear about something in that, because I'm not sure if Dr. Dawes was saying that the two drills for comparison were two refurbished drills and that this 31 million drill is a brand new drill or a refurbished drill. I'm still not clear from that. Yeah? Okay. So, he compared the costs to show that the $31 million drill, which I don't know if it's a $27 million drill, but okay, the $31 million drill, if that is a refurbished drill or a new drill, and he says that that $31 million drill was procured by a company owned in part by a JLP-MP. The JLP-MP, it was named by Dr. Dawes. Now, if you're doing that, you have to be 100% sure. Now, clearly, Dr. Dawes is skilled, highly skilled in medicine. And maybe because he's highly skilled in medicine, he believes he has the skills to be an investigator. Maybe he says that, well, medicine is a superior skill to investigating. So if I can do medicine, I can do investigations. And maybe in taking custody of the information he was given, I don't know what kind of investigation, if any, he did, or he just did some deductions. He just read through what he got and he just ran with it. But he ran with it with a confidence that suggests that the source of his information is very, very well placed, to the extent that perhaps he didn't even bother checking what he got. Now, if you're going to say that a member of parliament has ownership stake in a company that you say has corruptly procured, has overseeing a corrupt process to procure a drill at exorbitant cost. And the innuendo, the suggestions, there are many. If anybody listening to the story is knowing exactly what Dr. Dawes is saying. You know, in other words, on a buy a drill well above market cost, and that purchase was made by on a friend company, so on a friend can benefit. That's what he's saying. Okay, fine. Is it illegal for a member of parliament or a parliamentarian senator or anybody as part of the political architecture in any country, in this country precisely speaking, is it illegal for them to bid for contracts? Of course not. So even if Donovan Williams was the owner in part or in full of the company that procured the drill, that by itself, Dr. Dawes, you should know this by now, is not illegal. It is not unethical either, because members of parliament, parliamentarians over time have been part of many companies that have won government contracts. Councillors at the municipal corporation have won many government contracts, billions of dollars worth of government contracts. Just, was it earlier this year we were talking about Jack Dennis Gordon's company, the man who's the councillor for the Maxfield Park Division, effective the deputy mayor of the KSAMC, and the contracts that Jack Den holds. There's controversy about a building in the area, but there's no controversy over Jack Den's bidding for and winning other contracts that it has truthfully and dutifully discharged its responsibilities under those contracts. So it's not illegal. So the way you position the issue, it would appear as if the first step in the corruption is the fact that this procurement was won by a company owned by an MP. How could an MP under a government that he's a part of win a bid to provide services or to provide goods? Nothing is wrong with that. That has happened time and time again. Okay, good. That's one thing. Is it illegal or unethical for an attorney, as Williams said in his refutation of Dr. Dawes' statement, that I hold the trusts on behalf of somebody who actually owns shares in the company because I don't own shares myself? Is that an uncommon arrangement in commercial law? No, that is as common as me coming here and editing a newscast or writing a news story. It's what commercial lawyers do. Now, is Williams truthful when he said that, you know, I held shares, or hold shares, because he says there's a formality now for the company's office to take his name off because that matter was resolved in court? Was he telling the truth when he said, look, as a trustee in my capacity as an attorney at law, I held shares for someone who, I was a trustee for shares owned by someone in the company that Dr. Dawes says bought the drill? There is a statement, there's a claim filed in the Supreme Court, beg your pardon, claim number 2016 CD0224, that has, in the commercial division, a matter involving Winfield Boban, the claimant, Medical Technologies, the first defendant, and Donovan S.T.L. Williams, the second defendant. Save Donovan Williams, the MP for Central Kingston, the attorney at law, the man who was the subject of Dr. Dawes' claims. And in that claim, it says the dispute concerns the ownership of 40,000 shares in Medical Technologies. The determination of the claim will rest significantly in the resolution of factual issues surrounding the circumstances in which the shares were acquired. The authorized share capital of Medical Technologies is 100,000 shares, 40,000 of which were transferred to Wilfred Boban, in or about December 2008. The claimant says the shares are being held on trust for him, while the first defendant, Medical Technologies, says that the claimant, Boban, has no interest in the shares. Medical Technologies says that Donovan Williams holds the shares on security for or on behalf of an individual who made monetary loans or investments to Medical Technologies. And the court says, I refer to this individual as A. Medical Technologies says this arrangement was to ensure or to assure the confidentiality of A's relationship with Medical Technology. So the court document says that Donovan Williams, his interest in this matter was that he was the trustee for the shares of Medical Technologies. This matter was resolved because the man who actually owned the shares went to court to free up the shares. Donovan Williams never owned the shares. The thing here says, the document here from the Supreme Court, the shares were owned at all material times by Medical Technologies. And because of the dispute, and acting as a trustee in his capacity as an attorney at law, Williams held them. All right, so we settled that. So I'm saying, if it is that in this time, Dr. Dawes, you have these genuine concerns, and the drill numbers sound high, and I'd like the resolution of the matter to happen. But when you step forward and you tell the country that this is corrupt, and you dip deep for the adjectives and descriptors to paint a picture of what this whole procurement of the drill was, and you identify the gentleman by name and said that he owns the company that bought the drill for well over market price, and for the facts, as Donovan Williams has rebutted, not the facts, Donovan Williams' rebuttal, which remains unanswered by you or the PNP this morning. What are we to believe about you and your word, Dr. Dawes? Especially, as Elon Thompson, the senator, has pointed out, you have misled the public already, you know. You told us that you had food poisoning, then tell us that PNP then poisoned you. You have raised questions about other issues as well, and it has turned out that the facts have not borne out your claim. Dr. Dawes, what is happening to you, man? What is the politics doing to you? You never stay so.